The crowd waited for the bride, but she never walked in. Instead, someone screamed. The Royal Crest Hotel glittered like gold under the Lagos sun. Cameras flashed. Guests whispered. Tunde Lawson and Amara Daniels, the richest couple in town. But under all that shine, something was wrong. Very wrong. Lagos woke early. The city never sleeps. Hawkers called on the road. Okadas weaved between cars like fish in a river. Billboards flashed. Number: Tunde weds Amara. Reporters gathered at the hotel gate. Agri. They begged drivers to stop for interviews. Traffic slowed. Horns shouted. Everyone wanted to see the bride. Inside a top-floor suite, Amara sat in front of a mirror. Her gown lay across a velvet chair. White, clean, sharp. Her veil waited beside it like a cloud. A small speaker played calm music. Perfume filled the room, but her eyes were tired. Like she had not slept. Like she had cried. Kemi, her best friend, pinned her hair. Kemi loved bright nails and louder jokes. She kept the room alive. "Babe, drink water," Kemi said. "You're shaking." Amara took a sip and forced a smile. "I'm okay." "You don't look okay," Kemi said, softer now. "Talk to me. This is your day." Amara looked at the mirror. Her own face looked like a stranger, a beautiful stranger in a silent storm. Her hands gripped the glass. She wanted to say everything. But what she remembered next left her throat dry. 3 nights earlier, she went to surprise Tunde. He was at the Lawson Group office. His door stood half open. She heard voices. Tunde and his best man, Desmond. "Desmond. After the wedding, the merger is signed?" Tunde. "Of course. Daniel's estate becomes family. I control the board." Desmond. "And her father's debt?" "And her father's debt." Tunde. "Covered. Then we push him out slowly. I take the projects." Desmond. "And Amara?" Tunde. "She is the bridge. Soft, sweet, useful." Amara stood frozen in the dark hallway. Her hands turned to ice. Her heart felt like glass. This wedding was a deal. Not a love story, not a dream. She left without a sound. She walked down the steps like a ghost. The city lights looked cold. She held her stomach and breathed through the pain. That night, her pillow was wet. No one knew, not even Kemi. The makeup artist dusted powder across her cheek. "You're glowing," the woman said. Amara nodded. Inside, she felt like running. The door opened. Chief Daniels, her father, stepped in. He wore white agbada and a face of steel. He loved his daughter. He loved power more. "My jewel," he said. "Today is history." "Yes, Daddy," she replied. He looked into her eyes, searching. "No mistakes. The board is watching. The press is watching. Lagos is watching. I understand." He squeezed her shoulder. "Be strong. Do not bring shame." When he left, the room felt smaller. Madame Flora, her mother, came in quietly. A gentle woman. Soft hands. Tired eyes. "My baby," she whispered. "You're beautiful." "Thank you, Mommy." Flora fixed the tiny diamond pin on her daughter's hair. Her voice dropped. "You don't have to prove anything to us," she said. "Mom." Amara's voice shook. "If I say I'm scared, will you still smile?" "I will hold your hand," Flora said. "Even if the lights go off." Amara looked at her mother's face. There was love there. There was fear, too. But what she saw next left her speechless. Her phone lit up on the table. A message from Tunde. "Can't wait to own forever with you." The word own cut her like a blade. Own. Not love. Not cherish. Own. Her fingers tightened. Outside, a black Rolls-Royce stopped. Tunde stepped out. Tall. Immaculate. Confident. His watch flashed like a small sun. Reporters pushed forward. Tunde. A word. What do you love most about Amara? How much did this wedding cost? He smiled for the cameras. His smile was perfect. His eyes were not. Desmond leaned in. You sure you got this, boss? I always do, Tunde said. You know she's a soft heart, Desmond muttered. And I am a hard plan, Tunde replied, still smiling. They walked through the gold doors into the cool hall. Strings played from the back. The altar glowed under a flower arch. Every seat was full. Rich fabric. Shining shoes. Perfume like rain. Guests whispered, Look at the decorations. Lawsons know how to spend. Daniel's family needed this alliance. Their daughter is lucky. A choir hummed a soft hymn. The priest checked his book. Cameras. Red light blinked. Someone adjusted the mic at the altar. Tunde stood tall and practiced his gentle smile. He kept checking his watch. But what happened next set the whole hall on fire. Please rise for the bride, the coordinator announced. The violinist raised the bow. The doors at the back opened. Everyone stood and faced the entrance. No one walked in. The music hung in the air. A whisper ran through the crowd. Shoes shifted. Phones lifted to record. The doors closed again. The music stopped. Silence felt heavy. The coordinator whispered into her headset. A planner ran out of the hall. Just then, a shout came from upstairs. A bridesmaid screamed. The hall gasped. People started talking at once. The priest tried to calm them. Chief Daniel stood, face hard as granite. Madame Flora held her chest. The planner rushed back down the aisle. Breathless. She's not in her room. Chaos began. Amara's suite was open. The window curtain danced in the breeze. The gown box lay open. The veil was gone. On the table, her phone. Beside it, her engagement ring. And a small brown envelope. Kemi's mouth fell open. Amara? She called. No answer. Amara! She shouted again, voice breaking. No answer. She picked up the envelope, confused. She did not open it. Her hands shook. Chief Daniel's security searched the floor. Block all exits, one yelled. Check the service elevator, another said. But it was too late. A white taxi moved fast, skipping gaps in traffic. The driver kept his eyes on the road. In the back seat, Amara wore jeans and a hoodie. No makeup. No jewels. Just a girl with a racing heart. Madam? Where? The driver asked. Just drive, she said. Far from Royal Crest. Yes, madam. She looked out at the water. The lagoon was calm. Her heart was not. She held a brown envelope against her chest. Her fingers pressed into the paper. Inside, there was truth she never wanted to face in public. A hospital report, her name on it, a date from last year, words that could change her future, words that could make her a headline for the wrong reason. She closed her eyes. I'm not running from love, she whispered. I'm running from a lie. But what she remembered next made her stomach twist. After hearing Tunde and Desmond, she returned home like a shadow. Her mom was in the sitting room, knitting slowly. The TV showed a wedding countdown on a show. Her mother smiled. One more day, Flora said. Yes, Amara replied. Her voice was paper thin. She went to her room and locked the door. She set the envelope on the table. She stared at it for a long time. She thought of the vow. She thought of the board. She thought of her father's hard eyes. She thought of Tunde's laughing voice. She thought of her secret. And she broke. She cried into a towel so no one would hear. She cried until no tears came. Then she washed her face and stood straight. She promised herself one thing. She would not marry into a lie. She would not give her life to a plan that did not love her. She kept that promise. In the wedding hall, people whispered like bees. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she was kidnapped. Phones went live. Number runaway bride Lagos trended in minutes. Clips of guests shouting spread like fire. Someone filmed Chief Daniels yelling at staff. Someone filmed Flora crying. Tunde walked to the front and took the mic. His voice was soft and smooth. "Please, calm down," he said. "Amara is the love of my life. We will find her. Pray for her safety." Cameras caught his face in perfect light. People clapped lightly, confused and moved. He handed the mic back and turned away. His jaw locked, his eyes hardened. "Desmond," he whispered. "Call the private team. Are you sure? Find her. Now." Amara checked her phone. Dozens of missed calls. Her father. Kemi. Tunde. Unknown numbers. The press. Her chest tightened. She pressed power until the screen went black. "Madam," the driver said gently, "you look like you left a fire behind." "I did," she answered. "Do you want food?" "No." "Do you want quiet?" "Yes." They drove in silence. The city slid by. Bridges, water, billboard faces smiling like they knew nothing. She thought of the altar. She thought of her mother's hands. She thought of Kemi's laugh. She thought of the envelope. But what she saw next left her breathless. Through the taxi window, she caught a glimpse of another car. Black SUV. Dark windows. Moving fast. Her heart jumped. "Please, turn here," she told the driver. He turned. The SUV sped past and vanished. She booked a tiny hotel room. No one there cared about luxury names. The receptionist barely looked up. She paid cash and signed a false name. Inside, the bed was simple. The curtain thin. A small fridge hummed in the corner. She sat on the bed and hugged herself. "You did it," she whispered. "You left." Her body shook. Fear met relief. Her mind went quiet, then loud, then quiet again. She put the envelope inside the drawer. She stood before the mirror. No diamonds. No lace. No camera watching. Just Amara. Chief Daniels locked himself in his study. Calls came, one after another. Investors. Board members. Journalists. He repeated the same line. "My daughter is safe. It is a private matter." After the fifth call, his voice cracked. He threw a paperweight against the wall. It hit a family photo and broke the glass. Flora flinched in the doorway. "This will pass," she said. "It cannot," he replied. "Maybe she had a reason," Flora whispered. "What reason?" His voice thundered. "A true one." "She," and said. He looked at his wife with anger, then with fear. He sat down slowly. He rubbed his face. "Where is my child?" he said. The next morning, Amara went out in a scarf and glasses. She chose a small cafe a street away. She kept her head down. She ordered toast and black coffee. The waiter, a young man named Michael, placed the tray. He studied her face for a second and smiled kindly. "You look tired," he said. "I am," she replied. "You will be okay," he added. "I hope so." When he returned with hot water, he left a folded paper by the cup. She opened it. "Whatever you're running from, make sure it's not yourself." She stared at the words. Her eyes filled fast. She folded the note and slipped it into her pocket. She looked at people passing by. Life moved. Cars honked. A woman laughed on the phone. The world did not end. But what she felt next shocked her. A soft wave of courage rose in her chest. Tiny. Shy. Real. At Lawson Group, Tunde studied a city map. 3 men stood before him. Private investigators. Faces like stone. "Check every hotel within 8 kilometers," he said. We already started. One replied. Use the taxi trail. Tunde added. We're on it. Another said. Desmond touched his arm. Careful. If you push too hard, the press will smell it. Let them smell perfume. Tunde said. I will not be mocked. He stared at a picture of Amara on his phone. He zoomed in on her smile. He smiled back, but it carried no warmth. Kemi did not sleep either. She checked every message. She called every bridesmaid. Then she remembered the bridal taxi booking app. She opened the account and saw one last trip. From Royal Crest to Surulere. Her heart leaped. She grabbed her bag and left before anyone could stop her. She found the right street. She found the right hotel. She went to the reception, spoke softly, and waited. Room 204. The woman said at last. Kemi whispered, thanks, and ran upstairs. She knocked gently. The door opened a crack. Amara's eyes filled. Kemi rushed in and hugged her tight. You scared me to death, Kemi cried. I'm sorry, Amara whispered. Why did you do it? Because the altar was a trap, Amara said, voice breaking. Because he doesn't love me. Because I don't love a plan. Kemi held her face. Tell me everything. They sat on the bed. Amara told her about the office, the laughter, the words. She told her about the envelope. Her hands shook as she opened the drawer and took it out. Not just him. Kemi unfolded the papers. She read the first lines. Her breath caught. Amara. Oh God, she whispered. Does anyone know? No, not my father, not Tunde. Do you want them to know? I don't know, Amara said. I only know I can't begin a marriage with lies. But what they heard next made both of them jump. Tires screeched outside. Men's voices. Boots on gravel. A car door slammed. Then another. Kemi ran to the window and peeked through the curtain. Her hands flew to her mouth. Black SUV, she whispered. 4 men in suits. And Tunde. Amara's spine went cold. Her throat closed. Her knees weakened. Did you tell anyone I'm here? She asked. No, Kemi said, shaking. Maybe the taxi. Maybe your father's team. Heavy steps climbed the stairs. A man spoke into a radio. Another said, second floor. Left wing. They were close. Amara grabbed the envelope. She and Kemi looked around for a plan. Window? Too high. Back door? None. Bathroom? Too small. A sharp knock hit the door. Once. Twice. 3 times. Amara. Tunde's voice called, calm and dangerous. Open the door. Let's talk. Kemi squeezed Amara's hand. Amara's heart hammered against her ribs. She stared at the lock. The knob turned slightly and stopped. Another knock. Harder. The knob turned again. And right then, someone else's phone rang in. The hallway. A voice whispered, the press is downstairs. Another voice said, we need to move fast. Amara looked at Kemi. Kemi looked at Amara. No words left. Only breath. Only fear. Only the envelope in Amara's shaking hand. The knob turned all the way. The door latch clicked. The door began to open. Amara could hear her own heartbeat. Kemi held her hand so tight it hurt. The brown envelope was under Amara's arm. The room smelled like fear and cheap soap. Tunde's voice came through the half-open door. Calm, smooth, dangerous. Amara, he said. Open. We will talk like adults. Another knock followed. Harder this time. A man's voice spoke into a radio outside. Target inside. Room secured. Kemi looked at the window. Too high. No balcony. Only a thin ledge. And a rusty rain pipe. Her eyes moved to the bathroom. Too small. No back door. Think, Kemi whispered. We need seconds. Amara's mouth felt dry. She stared at the door handle. It twitched again. A hinge creaked. Footsteps rushed down the hall. People shouting. A woman scolding someone. Why are you men blocking the passage? Guests are complaining. The handle stopped turning. Another voice said, Madam, please step back. Private matter. Kemi's eyes lit up. She dropped to the floor and reached under the bed. Her fingers touched a metal tool. She pulled it out. A long mop handle, the top broken off. She dragged a chair quietly. She wedged the mop handle under the doorknob and braced it against the floor. She pushed a second chair against the first. Hold! She breathed. The door pressed from outside. It resisted. A deep voice cursed. What is this? Tunde's tone stayed soft. Amara, you're making this worse. Kemi nodded toward the bathroom. Tap, she mouthed. Amara nodded. She switched places with Kemi silently. Kemi took the envelope and slipped it into her tote. Amara went into the bathroom and turned on the shower. Water hissed loudly. Kemi ran to the window. She pushed it up. It groaned. Outside, the service alley looked narrow and dirty. A vendor pushed a cart full of paint buckets. A stray dog slept near a wall. The rain pipe trembled where it met the ledge. Will it hold? Amara whispered. It must, Kemi said. The door shook hard. F now. A boot hit it. The chair leg slipped a little. The mop handle bit into the floor. Police are downstairs. A guard outside said. We need to move fast. Amara climbed onto the ledge. Her hands gripped the window frame. The ground felt far. Her shoes slipped on dust. She swallowed fear and moved one foot to the rain pipe. It shook. Slow, Kemi said. Hold the screws. Move like a cat. Amara slid down, one hand at a time. Kemi removed the mop handle and jumped onto the ledge next. The door burst inward. Chairs flew. Tunde stepped in with two men. He saw Kemi vanish through the window. Down, Kemi called. They slid, hit a broken shed roof, and dropped into the alley. A splash of muddy water covered their jeans. The dog woke and barked once. The paint vendor stared. Sorry, Kemi gasped, running. They ran down the alley. A man yelled from above. Footsteps thundered in the corridor. Tunde appeared at the window, eyes dark. Stop them, he shouted. But the street outside was busy. Bikes flew past. Car horns sang. A woman sold plantain by the corner. Noise covered their escape. Kemi hailed a keke. Surulere tu ohuelegba, she yelled. They jumped in and ducked low. The driver nodded and pulled into traffic. Amara's hands shook. She could still see Tunde's face in her mind. Calm smile. Cold eyes. Kemi looked back. No SUV yet. No men running. Only the normal mess of Lagos. You okay? Kemi asked. I think so, Amara said, breathless. But she wasn't okay. Her heart still ran like it was on a track. Her throat held a stone. The keke turned left and joined faster cars. Wind slapped their faces. The brown envelope pressed against Kemi's hip inside the tote. Where now? The driver asked. Kemi thought fast. My cousin's clinic, she said. Small place. No sign outside. You sure? The driver asked. Yes, Kemi said. Her voice left no room for doubt. They arrived near a quiet street. Houses sat close, together. Clothes dried on lines like flags. A little boy chased a ball across the road. The clinic looked like a normal house, with tinted windows. Kemi knocked twice, then once. The door opened. A woman in blue scrubs looked out. Smart eyes. Calm face. Her name badge read, Dr. B.C. Onajobi. Kemi? She asked. Yes, Auntie, Kemi said. We need help, please. The doctor looked at their dirty clothes, at their eyes, at their shaking hands. Come inside, she said. They entered. The place smelled like antiseptic and lemon. A small waiting area held 2 chairs and a soft blue wall. A hallway led to 3 rooms. Everything was clean. Everything was quiet. "In here," Dr. Beacey said. She closed the blinds and locked the door. "Tell me," she said gently. Kemi looked at Amara and nodded. Amara swallowed. She took a breath. "Doctor," she said. "I ran from my wedding." The doctor did not look shocked. She only said, "Okay." Her voice was warm. "Why?" "Because my groom does not love me," Amara said. She felt the truth rise like heat. "Because my father pushed me. Because my own secret made it worse." "What secret?" the doctor asked. Kemi unzipped the tote. She took out the brown envelope. She placed it on the desk. It felt heavy for its size. Amara's fingers trembled. Her voice lowered. "A hospital report," she said. "Last year, it says I cannot carry a child." The room went silent. The clinic hum softened. A car passed outside. A spoon clinked in a neighbor's kitchen. "Who gave you this?" Dr. Beacey asked. "A private hospital," Amara said. "Victoria Island. A gynecologist. We did tests after a bad pain. They said I had scars. They said future pregnancy would fail." "And who else knows?" the doctor asked. "No one," Amara said. "Not my mother? Not my father? Not Tunde? I didn't want my life to become a debate." Kemi touched her shoulder. "You don't owe anyone your pain," she said. Dr. Beacey picked up the envelope and slid the papers out. She read the first page. Her eyes narrowed. She lifted a second page. She looked at the test codes at the bottom. She flipped to the signature. She said. She reached for a keyboard and typed something. A database opened on the screen. She checked a list of lab codes. She checked doctor names. She checked stamp styles used in registered labs. She looked back up. "Do you trust me?" she asked softly. "Yes," Amara said. "Good," the doctor said. "Because I need to tell you something, and I don't want you to break." Amara's heart paused, her fingers locked together. "The format on this report is wrong," the doctor said. "The lab code is not from that hospital. The stamp is old. The signature belongs to a doctor who left that hospital 2 years ago. And the ultrasound ID is reused. These are red flags." Kemi gasped. "What are you saying?" she asked. "I'm saying this report may be fake," the doctor replied. "Someone could have forged it, or someone made a lazy copy and changed a name. It happens when people want a specific story to be believed." The word fake fell like a stone into water. It made ripples everywhere. Amara blinked. "What?" she whispered. "I cannot be 100% sure yet," the doctor added. "But my eyes have seen many reports. This one does not look right." Amara pressed her hand to her mouth. The room swam. Her knees felt weak. Kemi grabbed her arm and guided her to a chair. "Breathe," Kemi said. Slow. A tear slid down Amara's cheek. She felt anger push through her fear. "Someone wanted me to believe I'm broken," she said. Her voice woke up. "Who would do that to me?" The doctor nodded. "It's a cruel thing," she said. "But we will find the truth. If you allow me, we will redo tests here. Quietly. No record that can be traced. I will also call a friend at that hospital. Off the books. He will check who accessed your file." Amara wiped her face. Her tears left clean lines. "Yes," she said. "Please. I want my life back." Kemi squeezed her hand. "This is why you ran," she said. "Not only because of Tunde's plan, but because this paper was killing you in silence." Amara nodded. "I thought no one would want me after this. I thought Tunde would throw me away if I told him. I thought my father would call me a failure. So I stayed quiet, and I drowned." "But you didn't drown," Kemi said. "You swam out." You chose yourself. Amara managed a small, tired smile. The doctor stood. Let's do this right, she said. We will draw blood now. Then I will do a scan. No one will know. They moved to a small exam room. A soft light filled the space. There was a narrow bed, a curtain, a machine with a screen. The doctor worked with careful hands. She drew blood. She spoke gently so fear would not grow. She cleaned the skin before the scan. She checked the image. She asked simple questions. Any surgery before? She asked. No, Amara said. Only pain that felt like twisting. Any serious fall? The doctor asked. Once, Amara said. 2 years ago. A car hit a puddle and splashed. I slipped near the curb. I landed hard. I cried for hours. But I didn't see a doctor. I was ashamed to make noise. The doctor nodded. Pain can be many things, she said. It can be scars. It can be fear. It can be a body asking for rest. We will not jump to answers. The scan ended. The doctor saved images. She printed 2 copies and slid them into a file. She did not say much yet. Only, we wait for blood work, and I will call my friend about the old report. She wiped off the gel and gave Amara a fresh cloth. Drink water, she said. They returned to the tiny office. The doctor pulled out her phone and dialed. She spoke in a low voice. Hello, Isoken. Do you have 2 minutes? I need a quiet check. Yes. I will text you the lab code and the stamp image. No. Not on the hospital line. Yes. The private one. Thank you. She hung up and exhaled. I have sent it, she said. Thank for watching. She will check quietly. Give us an hour. Amara's chest rose and fell. For the first time in many days, she felt something like air. Kemi leaned back in the chair. She stared at the ceiling. She whispered, If this report is fake, who wanted the lie? Someone with a reason, the doctor said. Someone who benefits if Amara feels small. Kemi frowned. Chief Daniels would not do that, she said. He is tough, but he loves his daughter. He wants power, yes, but not this. Amara shook her head slowly. My father would never forge medical papers, she said. He can be cold, but not cruel like this. They all knew the other name in the room. None of them said it. Not yet. The doorbell rang at the front. The doctor froze. Kemi stood. Amara's heart spiked. Doctor. BC checked the camera screen. A young woman stood outside with a baby strapped to her chest. She held a small card. Immunization, she said to the intercom softly. The doctor buzzed her into the waiting area and stepped out to give the child a date card. 2 minutes later, she returned and locked the inside door again. Sorry, she said. Regulars know my place. Amara's phone vibrated inside Kemi's tote. Kemi pulled it out, eyeballing the screen. Unknown number, she said. It could be the press. Or him. Leave it, Amara said. The phone stopped, then buzzed again. Another unknown number. Then her mother's name flashed. Amara's throat tightened. She took the phone with shaking hands. She stared at the name, then answered. Mom, she said softly. My baby, Flora said. Her voice was full of tears. Where are you? Are you safe? Please, talk to me. I'm safe, Amara said. I'm sorry for the shame. No, Flora said. You are my child. Come home. We will close the gate. We will shut out the noise. I can't, Amara said. Not yet. Is it Tunde? Flora asked quietly. Did he hurt you? Amara closed her eyes. No, she said. But he is not the man you think. And I am not the woman they want me to be. Flora exhaled. I will believe you, she said. Even if your father does not. Please. Tell me where to send clothes and food. At least let me be your mother. Amara's mouth trembled. She gave a nearby landmark, but not the clinic address. Her mother said she would send a trusted driver and would not tell her husband. "I love you," Flora whispered. "Always. I love you too," Amara said. When she hung up, silence returned, but it felt softer. A message dinged on the doctor's phone. She grabbed it fast. Her eyes sharpened as she read. "Update," she said. "Isokin checked. The lab code on your report belongs to a batch used for corporate screens at Lawson Group 2 years ago. It was never used for gyne cases. And the stamp is from a retired SEAL." Kemi sat up. "Lawson Group?" she asked. "As in Tunde's company?" "Yes," the doctor said. Amara stared at the wall. Her mind connected lines she didn't want. Her chest rose with a hot breath. "So the report that broke me," she said, "may have come through his house?" "It points there," the doctor replied. "We still need proof. Screenshots. Emails. A chain." Kemi's eyes flashed. "Desmond," she said. "He handles Tunde's dirty work. He was joking about the merger. He might have sent this." Amara felt both weak and strong at once. The room tilted, then straightened. She rubbed her hands together. "I want to know," she said. "I want to see it. If he did this, I will not hide again." Dr. Bisi nodded. "I will ask my friend for more. In the meantime, eat. Drink. You need strength." Kemi stepped out to get food from a nearby kiosk. The clinic room grew quiet. Again. Amara sat with the doctor. They said nothing for a minute. Then Amara whispered, "If I am fine, will I ever forgive myself for believing a lie?" The doctor looked into her eyes. "You believed because you were alone," she said. "Alone makes lies louder. You are not alone now." Amara nodded, eyes wet again. She breathed slowly and let the tears fall. Kemi returned with jollof rice and takeout packs and 2 bottled waters. They ate with plastic spoons. The rice tasted like spice and hope. Halfway through, the doctor's phone rang again. She listened and wrote something on a notepad. She looked up. "Isokin found a log," she said. 2 years ago, someone requested a template from the hospital. They said it was for corporate education. The email came from a Lawson Group address. The name attached is an assistant. "Whose assistant?" Kemi asked. The doctor turned the notepad around. A name was written in neat letters. The room chilled. Amara's stomach twisted. She heard again the laughter in Tunde's office. She saw Desmond's hand clapping Tunde's shoulder. She saw the way he scanned rooms. Always calculating. "Send me the screenshot," the doctor told her friend. She hung up and looked at Amara. "We have a thread now," she said. "The cloth is starting to tear." There was a soft knock at the front door. A child laughed in the street. A bike rattled past with bread trays stacked high. The doctor checked the camera again. A man stood by the gate with a small bag, the driver her mother sent. He kept his head low and did not look around. The doctor opened the gate remotely and told him to leave the bag on the step. When the gate closed, she fetched the bag and brought it inside. Clothes, a scarf, toiletries, a small note. "My baby. Eat and rest. I will stand in your storm. Mom." Amara pressed the note to her chest. Her shoulders dropped. She felt like a person again. They cleaned up the food. They planned the next hours. Kemi would stay. The doctor would run the tests to a friendly lab. They would wait for the screenshot from the hospital server. If it came, they'd have a real piece of proof. After that, Kemi said, "We go to the police." Amara hesitated. "Or maybe a journalist," Kemi added. "The right one. The kind who checks facts." "Careful," the doctor warned. "Truth needs a safe door." "Pick the right door." Amara nodded. "I also need to talk to one more person," she said. "Who?" Kemi asked. Amara looked at the floor. My father. I can't let him hear this from TV. Even if he is angry, he is still my father. The doctor's phone buzzed. She tapped the screen and opened a message. Her brows shot up. Here, she said, handing the phone over. On the screen was an email screenshot. The subject line read, Template request. From desmond.obasi@lawsongroup.ng to admin@vwomenhospital.org. Date: 2 years ago. The body: could you please share a sample of your infertility report format for a corporate lecture? We need it unbranded for slides. Attachment: report. Format: DocsX. Another screenshot followed. A reply from a hospital admin: please find attached a sample. Remove patient data. Kemi slowly exhaled. She covered her mouth. He did it, she whispered. He did it. Amara's eyes burned. Her throat squeezed. A small sound escaped her chest. Not a sob, not a laugh. Something between pain and relief. The doctor's screen lit again. A third screenshot. An internal note. Template shared with Lawson Group per request of Mr. Obasi for seminar. The truth now had legs. A sudden noise cut the air. A hard knock at the clinic door. Not the gate. The clinic door. All three women froze. The knock came again. Slow. Confident. Kemi stood and moved to the side of the door. Out of sight. The doctor muted her phone. Amara's heart started racing again. She grabbed the tote and pressed it to her stomach. The brown envelope was inside, but now it carried more than before. A voice came through the wood. Soft, smooth, familiar. Doctor, the voice said. I heard you can help people quietly. The doctor did not answer. Her eyes asked, did you tell anyone? Amara shook her head. Kemi shook hers too. I brought flowers, the voice said. And a small donation for the children you help sometimes. Another knock. Gentle. Like a finger tapping a wrist. Open, please. We're all friends here. The doctor moved to the small camera screen and looked. Her face changed. Her spine straightened. She turned the screen to them. Outside the door stood Tunde Lawson. A bouquet in one hand. A dark envelope in the other. Two men waited behind him by the gate. They scanned the street like hawks. Amara's fingers went cold. Her lungs forgot their job. Kemi mouthed a curse. How did he find us? Kemi whispered. The driver? My mother? Amara whispered back. No, she promised. Tunde spoke again through the door. Amara, he said softly. I know you're there. Let me in. We're family. Family fixes things. The doctor's phone buzzed in her pocket. A new message from Isoken. One line only. Be careful. Someone from Lawson Group just pinged this number asking if I spoke to you. The knock turned harder. A hand tried the handle. It did not open. The doctor had locked it. Open, Tunde said. The silk, wearing thin. We can do this clean, or we can do it messy. Amara looked at the doctor. The doctor looked back. Then she looked at Kemi. Back room, the doctor whispered. Now. They moved fast down the short hall. They entered the last room. There was a small back door that led to a tiny courtyard where the generator sat. The doctor unlocked it and pointed to a low wall beyond. Climb and drop, she said. Then turn left. You will hit a narrow lane. Run to the Women's Cooperative Building. Green Gate. Tell them BC sent you. What about you? Amara asked. I will buy you minutes, the doctor said. And I will call a friend with a badge. The front door shook. A thud. Another. A voice shouted, Sir, the door is reinforced. Kemi swung her tote on her shoulder. Amara gripped the strap. They moved to the back door. They could hear Tunde again. Calm returning. Amara, he said. Please. Don't make me teach you a lesson. Amara stopped. She turned back toward the sound. Her eyes were wet but bright. She spoke loud enough to carry through the hall. You taught me already, she said. You taught me what love isn't. Silence answered her. Then, the door at the front shook again. Meaner this time. The doctor pushed them through the back door. They ran into the courtyard. The generator ticked in the corner. Heat rose from the concrete. They climbed the low wall. Kemi went first, then pulled Amara up. They dropped into the lane on the other side and landed in dust. Two kids stared at them and giggled. A woman hanging clothes looked up and then looked away. They ran left. Their feet slapped the ground. The lane smelled like smoke and soap and stew. Halfway down, Kemi slowed. Listen, she said. Amara heard it too. An engine. Not in the lane. Beyond it. Like a big car was circling for a spot. They picked up speed. Turned right. A green gate appeared ahead with a sign. Women's Cooperative. Kemi banged on it. A woman opened, tall and stern. Her eyes were sharp. Please. Kemi puffed. Dr. Bisi sent us. The woman's face softened. Inside, she said. They stepped through. The gate slammed shut. Inside was a small courtyard with benches and potted plants. Two women stitched clothes on machines. Another taught a girl how to balance books. It felt like a quiet ocean after a storm. Sit, the stern woman said. She handed them water. I am Mama EJ. If BC sent you, then we protect you. Thank you, Amara said. Her voice broke. Don't thank me yet, Mama EJ said. Her eyes scanned their faces. You brought Lagos Wind with you. Kemi's phone buzzed. She glanced at it. It's from an unknown WhatsApp, she said. No name. Only a video link. Don't open, Mama EJ warned. Many links bring snakes. It could be proof, Kemi said. Risk it, Amara said quietly. Her jaw set. Kemi tapped. The video loaded quickly. It was grainy CCTV footage from a hospital admin desk. A man stood at the counter wearing a cap and mask. He slid a brown envelope across. He handed a printed form and pointed at a computer screen. He lowered his mask to say something. The image was not perfect, but the face was clear enough. He collected a document from the printer, put it in the envelope, and walked out. The timestamp matched the date on Amara's report. Kemi covered her mouth again. Tears filled her eyes. Forward this to 3 places, Mama EJ said quickly. Someone you trust with the law. Someone you trust with the news. And someone who loves you but is not afraid of your father. Kemi nodded and started sending. A heavy knock sounded at the green gate. Once. Twice. 3 times. Open. A man's voice boomed. This is private property. Mama EJ shouted back. Go away. This is Lawson Group security, the man said. We are looking for 2 women. Then go to your mother's kitchen. Mama EJ snapped. Because no women here belong to you. Another knock came. Louder. Anger in it. Footsteps approached from the clinic side. Voices. A siren in the distance. Then a different voice cut through everything. Lawson Security? It said. Sharp. Official. Step back from that gate. Silence. Then, the same officer voice again. Hands visible, the voice ordered. This is the Nigerian police. We received a call. At the same time, Kemi's phone dinged. A reply from a journalist she trusted. I see the footage. I'm verifying. Stay safe. Don't move. Another ding. A reply from a lawyer Kemi once helped on a charity event. I'm coming. Don't open the gate to anyone except the policewoman named Ada. Another ding. A short text from a hidden number. We need to talk, Amara. I have a different truth for you. Something your father did. Meet me at 7 p.m. Alone. There was no name at the end. Only a location pin near the marina. Amara felt the air shift again. Her mouth went dry. She held the phone up for Kemi to see. Kemi frowned hard. "The trap smell is strong," Mama EJ said. Behind the green gate, a woman's voice spoke clearly. "Lower your weapons," she said. "Ada." "Detective." "Family unit." The gate opened a crack. A policewoman stepped in, badge visible, eyes steady. She looked at Amara with human eyes. Not hungry ones. "You're safe here," the policewoman said. "Let's take statements, slow and clean." Amara breathed out. Some of the storm left her chest, but another storm waited at the edge. The unknown message pulsed on her phone like a heartbeat. The policewoman sat with them under the shade. She listened without rushing. She took notes with care. She asked for the screenshots and the video clip. She recorded the time, the names, the small details. "If this is true," she said, "there are crimes here. Forgery, medical tampering, harassment. We will act." From the street, men argued with officers. The day felt heavy and bright. Amara looked at the phone again, at the location pin, at the words, "Something your father did." Her mind split. Love for her father, fear of his shadow, anger at Tunde, hope from the doctor, strength from Kemi, and a new doubt, ugly and sharp. Kemi saw her face. "What is it?" she asked. Amara handed her the phone. Kemi read and hissed. "No," she said. "Not today. Not alone. This smells like a hook." "I know," Amara said. Her voice was small. "But what if it's true? What if there is more? What if I only know half of my life?" Kemi held her head with both hands. "Everything does not have to be today," she said. "You are not a court." The policewoman looked at the message and frowned. "We can trace this," she said. "Or we can go with you. But do not go alone." "Let me think," Amara whispered. Another call came. This time, from her mother again. She answered. "Baby," Flora said. Her voice shook. "Your father he is not well. He had a bad pressure spike after a call. He is at the hospital. Please, if you can, just send him a voice note. Tell him you are okay." Amara felt her world tilt again. She closed her eyes. The hospital smell rose in her memory. The envelope's weight pressed her lap. The gate rattled softly as the wind touched it. She opened her eyes, looked at Kemi, at Ada the policewoman, at Mama EJ, at the quiet women sewing, at the doctor's number on the phone screen, at the message warning of a deeper truth. "Record the note," Kemi said gently. "Then we decide." Amara lifted the phone. She hit record. Her voice came out steady, even with tears. "Daddy," she said, "I am safe. I did not run to shame you. I ran to save myself. I will speak when I can. Please rest. Please believe I am still your child." She sent it to her mother. Then she set the phone down. The policewoman stood. "We'll move you soon," she said, "to a safer place for the night." Before they could answer, a shadow fell across the courtyard tiles. Someone had climbed the wall at the back. Quiet like a cat. A slim man in a cap dropped down near the sewing table and straightened. He lifted both hands to show he was not armed. He looked at Amara with eyes that knew too much. "Please don't shout," he whispered. "I came alone." Kemi stepped in front of Amara. Ada reached for her radio. The man removed his cap slowly. It was Desmond. His face was pale. A cut marked his cheek, fresh and red. He looked less sure than before. His lips trembled once before he spoke. "I brought the original file," he said. "And a recording. Tunde is not your only problem, Amara. Your father. He made a deal I need you to hear." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small flash drive. He placed it on the bench between them like it was a bomb, You have 10 minutes before he tracks me, Desmond said, eyes darting to the gate. Choose fast. The courtyard went silent. Even the sewing machine stopped. Amara stared at the flash drive. At Desmond's shaking hands. At the door where voices from the street still rumbled. At the green gate holding back a flood. Her life hung there, between men who had shaped her path and women who were holding her up now. She reached for the flash drive. And just then, a loud crack split the air by the gate. A tire exploded. Someone shouted. Engines roared. Feet pounded again. Ada pulled Amara back with one hand and drew a small baton with the other. Desmond spun toward the sound, panic in his eyes. A voice shouted from outside, close and furious. Desmond! What are you doing? It was Tunde. Everything moved at once. The night was loud with sirens. Police vans lined the street outside the mansion. Flashlights moved across the walls like angry stars. Amara stood near the corner, trembling but trying not to show it. Tunde's voice echoed through the hall. Where is she? You think you can hide from me, Amara? Kemi pulled her behind the door. Don't move. Ada said she's almost here. Desmond stood beside the window, watching. Sweat ran down his forehead. He's gone mad, he whispered. He knows the police are coming. A loud bang came from downstairs. Tunde had kicked open the glass table. His men shouted as they ran toward the backyard. Amara took a deep breath. Her heart pounded. I can't hide forever. Kemi grabbed her arm. You're not going anywhere. Not until Ada gets here. Before she could reply, the front gate burst open. Red and blue lights flashed. Ada's firm voice cut through the noise. Police! Everyone down! Officers poured in. The chaos froze. Tunde looked around, furious, as the light from the torches hit his face. Ada stepped forward, calm but cold. Tunde Lawson, you're under arrest for forgery, fraud, and attempted coercion. Tunde smirked. You can't arrest me in my own house. Ada smiled faintly. Watch me. He tried to walk away, but two officers blocked his path. Ada showed a warrant. Tunde's eyes burned with hate. You think this woman is innocent? He shouted, pointing at Amara. Her family made this deal too. Amara froze. What are you saying? He laughed bitterly. Ask your father, Amara. Ask him who signed my business papers. Ask who sold his daughter's freedom for company shares. Her voice broke. You're lying. Am I? He said, smirking. Your father begged me to marry you, even when I didn't want to. You think you ran from me, but you were already trapped. Ada nodded to the officers. Take him away. They grabbed Tunde's hands and cuffed him. He fought, shouting insults. You'll all regret this. As they dragged him out, Amara's knees weakened. She fell to the floor. My father, no, he wouldn't do that. Don't listen to him, he's desperate. Desmond shook his head slowly. No, Kemi. It might be true. Amara looked up, eyes full of confusion. You knew? Desmond hesitated. Not all of it. But I saw the papers. Lawson Group and Daniels Holdings merged 6 months ago. The marriage was part of the contract. Tears filled her eyes. My wedding was a business deal? He nodded quietly. I'm sorry. Ada came closer, placing a soft hand on her shoulder. Don't lose yourself now. Let's get you somewhere safe first. Amara nodded. Numb. Where can I even be safe, Ada? Everyone I trusted lied to me. Ada sighed. Then start trusting yourself. They drove through the empty streets of Lagos. The city lights blurred through the car window. Amara stared outside, silent. Kemi leaned closer. Say something. Please, Amara whispered. All this time, I thought running away made me weak, but maybe staying was the real mistake. Ada's phone rang. She answered quickly. Yes, this is Officer Ada. She listened, frowning. Then she turned to Amara. Your mother called. Your father collapsed. He's in critical condition. Amara's body stiffened. Where? Street Luke's hospital. She looked at Ada with pleading eyes. Please take me there. Ada hesitated. He's under investigation, Amara. Are you sure? He's still my father, Amara said. I need to hear the truth from him. Ada nodded and changed direction. At the hospital, everything smelled of medicine and fear. Madame Flora sat on a bench, her hands shaking. When she saw her daughter, she broke into tears. Amara, thank God you came. He's been asking for you. Amara hugged her mother tightly. What happened? He had an argument with Tunde. Before the police arrived, then his heart gave out. Amara swallowed hard. Can I see him? Flora nodded. Go in, my child. Inside the room, Chief Daniels lay pale and weak. Tubes ran across his body, his breathing was slow. When Amara touched his hand, his eyes opened slightly. Amara, my baby. Daddy, she said softly, fighting tears. Why did you do it? He looked away, ashamed. I was drowning, Amara. The company was failing. Tunde offered help, but he wanted something in return. I thought marrying him would secure your future. Amara shook her head. You didn't think about what I wanted. His lips trembled. I was blinded by pride. I thought love could grow later. Love can't grow from lies, she whispered. He coughed, pain crossing his face. You have your mother's strength. Maybe she can forgive me. Maybe you can too. Amara's tears fell on his hand. I don't know if I can, Daddy. You gave me away like property. His eyes softened. I'm sorry. My daughter. Don't let hate live in you, like it lived in me. She stayed quiet for a moment, then slowly nodded. I'll try. His eyes closed again. The monitor beeped slowly. Outside, Amara sat beside her mother in silence. Kemi arrived with coffee. How is he? Barely holding on, Amara whispered. But I finally heard the truth. Kemi sighed. And it hurts more than I expected. Ada joined them. Tunde confessed during questioning. We have recordings, documents, and Desmond's statement. It's enough to end his empire. Flora looked at her daughter. What will you do now? Amara stared ahead. Maybe start over, away from all this noise. Ada smiled. Good. Start with yourself first. Kemi nodded. And we'll be right here. Hours passed. The sky outside turned gray. Amara stood by the window, watching the first light of dawn. Her phone buzzed again. It was a message from Desmond. He'll pay for everything. But please forgive me someday. She replied. You already did your part. I'm done with hate. The sun rose slowly over Lagos. Amara closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered, maybe this is what freedom feels like. Quiet, but real. She didn't know what would come next. But for the first time, she wasn't afraid of tomorrow. But just as she turned to leave the hospital room, a nurse rushed in, panic in her eyes. Miss Daniels, your father, his heart rate is dropping. Flora screamed. Doctor, somebody help. Amara froze. The monitor beeped faster, then slower, then flat. She stepped forward, voice breaking. Daddy, please don't go. Doctors rushed in, shouting orders. Amara stood there helplessly, tears flooding her face. Within minutes, the room went silent. The doctor turned to them and whispered, He's gone. Flora collapsed into her daughter's arms. Amara's cry filled the hallway. She fell to her knees, whispering, Why does truth always come too late? And that was how the night ended, not with anger, but loss. The father who sold his daughter's freedom died asking for her forgiveness. The man who pretended to love her sat behind bars. And the woman who once ran away from her wedding now stood alone, broken but alive. She looked up at the hospital window, where dawnlight touched the glass, and whispered, It's not over. I'll turn this pain into something good. The corridor smelled like bleach and rain. Nurses moved quietly. Someone cried in a distant room. Amara stood with her mother in the hallway, both of them holding each other. Like the ground could open under their feet. Kemi wrapped a shawl around Madame Flora's shoulders. Annie, sit. Please. Flora shook her head. If I sit, I will fall. Amara whispered. We will stand together, Mama. Ada walked up gently. I'm sorry. She lowered her voice. We'll give you space. When you're ready, I have updates. The case is moving fast. Amara nodded. Thank you. Her voice sounded small. They signed some forms. They spoke to a soft-spoken doctor. They chose a day for the burial. Everything felt like moving through water. Amara answered questions, but her mind was somewhere far away, replaying a kinder memory. Her father lifting her when she was 5, spinning her in the living room, laughing like the world would always be safe. At noon, the rain began. It fell hard over the hospital roof. Kemi held an umbrella as they stepped outside. A car door opened. Desmond stood by the curb, soaking, hands in the air to show he meant no harm. I heard, he said quietly. I'm sorry. Amara looked at him. Some of this started with you. He swallowed. I know, I'll carry that. He lifted a small envelope. Ada asked me to get one more file from Lawson's lawyer. It proves the merger clause. Your father signed under pressure. Tunde threatened to expose debts. He trapped him. Flora closed her eyes. He was proud. He would rather be hurt than be seen as weak. Amara took the envelope. Thank you, she said, and her voice had no hate left in it. That night, Amara sat at the dining table in her childhood home. The house was filled with flowers and people, but it felt empty. She read her father's letter again, the shaky lines telling truth and regret. She cried until the words blurred, then wiped her face with the edge of her scarf. Kemi placed a bowl of pepper soup beside her. Eat a little. Later, Amara said. Your body needs strength to carry your heart, Kemi replied. Amara took a spoonful and nodded. It tasted like warmth. In the days that followed, they laid Chief Daniels to rest under a wide tree. The sun burned through gray clouds. People spoke about his business wins, his leadership, his mistakes. Amara did not speak. She just stood beside her mother and let the wind touch her face. When the crowd left, she placed a white lily on the soil and whispered, I forgive you. The words felt like a key turning in a locked door. After the funeral, Ada visited the house. She set a folder on the table. We filed charges. Forgery. Blackmail. Conspiracy. Tunde will face court soon. Desmond turned witness. He will still face punishment, but lighter. He's helping us unwind the rest. Flora poured Ada tea. Thank you for protecting my daughter. Ada smiled slightly. She protected herself. We only held the line. Amara opened the folder and saw her own name too many times. She saw the fake report, the email trail, the bank transfers, the clause that tied her wedding to money. She felt anger rise again, then pass. Can I do something? She asked. Ada raised an eyebrow. Like what? Start something that helps women who are trapped by lies and shame. Somewhere they can talk without fear. Ada nodded. Yes. And I know the right person for your board. Who? Dr. Bisi, Ada said, and her eyes softened. The one who heard you first. They met at the small clinic in Surulere. Doctor. Bisi hugged Amara like a daughter. She retested everything quietly and confirmed what the wrong paper tried to erase. You are healthy, the doctor said. And even if you weren't, your value doesn't live in a womb. It lives in your heart and choices. Amara breathed out. Thank you for telling me truth with respect. The doctor smiled. Truth is a medicine if given gently. They worked late with Kemi and Mama EJ, writing the foundation plan. They chose a name that felt like sunlight after rain. The Healing Truth Project. A small office in Lekki, a hotline. A group room for support. Legal help once a week. Quiet medical checks for anyone scared to step into a hospital alone. On opening day, the first visitor came before the sign was even straight on the wall. A girl of 18 stood at the door, head down. My boyfriend, he reads my messages. He says I belong to him, she whispered. You belong to yourself. Amara said. Come in. News of the foundation spread faster than expected. It was not because of money, it was because of relief. Women told women. Aunties told nieces. A policewoman on the night shift told a worried neighbor. Each story carried the same message: you are not alone. While the foundation took root, the court date arrived. The courthouse smelled like old files and strong polish. Reporters filled the steps outside. Tunde stepped from a black van in handcuffs, chin high, eyes still cold. The cameras clicked like insects. His lawyer spoke big, empty words. Inside, Amara sat on a hard bench beside Kemi and Ada. Desmond sat on the other side, eyes on the floor. Tunde looked back once and smirked like nothing could touch him. The judge read the first list of charges. Each one sounded like a stone falling into deep water. The hospital CCTV clip played. The email screenshots appeared on a screen. The fake report was held up in a clear sleeve like a lie pinned to a wall. Desmond stood and spoke. Voice shaking. He told the truth like a man pulling thorns from his own skin. I did this. I helped forge the paper. I helped deliver it. I was wrong, he said. He also told the part that the public did not know. The threats, the quiet bribes, the way Tunde talked about people, like they were items on a shelf. The courtroom felt heavy with it. At the break, in the hallway, Tunde asked to speak to Amara. Ada stood beside her as shield. Come to beg? He said, smiling without warmth. Amara looked at him like she had learned something he would never understand. I came to live, she said. You think the world will love you now? He sneered. They'll move on. Fame forgets fast. I'm not chasing fame, she said. I'm building healing. He leaned closer, voice low. You only won because I slipped. No, she replied. I won because truth, and stood up. He laughed once, short and sharp. You talk like a preacher. I talk like a survivor, she said, and turned away. The judge returned and set the next hearing. The case would run its long course because justice moves with careful feet. But already, people could see the lines, the path of greed, the hands that signed, the hearts that broke, and the few who chose to stop the breaking. Outside the court, someone shouted Amara's name. She turned and saw a man with a camera. Amara, what do you say to women who think they must suffer in silence? She thought for a second. Silence can feel safe, but it is a small room. Step out. Even if your voice shakes, step out. They drove back to the foundation. On the way, rain began again. Lagos roads shone like mirrors. Kemi hummed along to the radio. Ada scolded a driver who cut them off, then laughed at herself for scolding. How are you truly? Kemi asked. Amara looked out the window at the water. Tired. But the good kind of tired. Does the good kind still cry? Sometimes, Amara said. But it also sleeps. They reached the office and climbed the stairs. The hallway was crowded. Mothers with toddlers. A woman with a small suitcase. A girl with headphones pulled over her ears like a shield. The waiting area smelled like tea and new paint. Amara set her bag down and smiled at them. Welcome, she said. You are safe here. She meant every word. That afternoon, she met a woman in her 50s who wanted to apologize to her own daughter. She met a student who feared a teacher. She met a wife who wanted to leave but had no bank account. She did not fix everyone's life in one sitting. She did the smaller, stronger thing. She listened. She believed. And she helped them choose next steps that belonged to them. In the evening, the office grew quiet. The last visitor left with a plan and a soft smile. Kemi locked the cash box and counted donation slips. Ada finished, writing a referral note. Flora walked in with a tray covered by a cloth. "I brought jollof," she said, trying not to cry when she saw her daughter busy and bright. "Mom," Amara said, hugging her. "You're glowing." Flora laughed. "I used your father's stubbornness for something good today. I told 2 aunties to stop gossiping and start donating." They ate from paper plates at the small table. The rice was sweet and hot. They talked about silly things. A neighbor who sang off-key. A tailor who always promised tomorrow. The way Lagos found a way to be loud, even in the rain. After dinner, Amara stepped onto the small balcony. The city lights were a necklace of dots across the night. She held her father's letter once more. The edges soft now from reading. She thought about all the versions of herself she had been. The quiet daughter, the good student, the bride who ran, the woman who shook, the woman who stood. Kemi joined her outside. "If this was a movie, the credits would roll right now," she said. Amara smiled. "Real life keeps going after the credits." "True," Kemi said. "But it's okay to enjoy the last scene." A message buzzed on Amara's phone. It was from the first girl who came to the foundation. "I told him no today. I was scared, but I did it." Amara typed back. "I'm proud of you. Fear can come, but it cannot drive." The girl replied with a heart. Another message came in from Dr. BC. "Board papers ready. Your foundation is official. Congratulations, Amara." She looked up at the wet sky and whispered, "Thank you." In the weeks that followed, small miracles happened in quiet rooms. Women found jobs. One started school again. One opened a tiny salon at the corner of her street. One brought cupcakes to the office with a note that said, "I woke up today and did not feel small." Tunde's trial kept moving. He faced more charges as other victims stepped forward. Desmond stood every time to speak the truth. And every time, he stepped down from the witness stand. He looked at Amara, like a man learning to be different. She always gave the same small nod back. Not friendship yet, but a path. One afternoon, Amara visited the tree where her father was buried. The grass was greener there now. She sat on the ground and talked softly. "I'm building the clean life you wished for me," she said. "It hurts sometimes, but the hurt doesn't own me." She placed fresh flowers and smiled through tears. Rest. On the way back, she stopped by the beach. The sun sat low, painting gold across the water. Children ran at the edge of the waves. A vendor sold coconut pieces in a small cup. She bought one and sat in the sand, tasting sweet and salt together. Her phone camera faced her. She didn't plan to record, but the words felt ready. "Some of you know me as the bride who ran away," she said softly. "But I am more than that. I am a woman who chose truth. If you are afraid right now, I see you. If you are stuck in a lie, I hear you. You can choose yourself and still be loved. I promise." She paused, and the sea answered with a soft roar. "If this story hits your soul, don't forget to like and share," she added, smiling through the sunset. "Stay close for more." She stopped recording and watched the horizon for a long time. Lagos breathed around her, rough and bright, heavy and hopeful. She stood and brushed sand from her dress. As she walked back to her car, a little boy ran up with a bunch of small white flowers tied with string. "Auntie, for courage," he said. She took them and pressed a note into his hand. "For yours too." He grinned and ran away. Amara sat in the driver's seat and looked at herself in the mirror. Not the bride. Not the scandal. Not the headline. Just a woman with steady eyes, a healed spine, a soft mouth ready to forgive and ready to say no when no was needed. She whispered, "I'm proud of you," to the reflection, then laughed at herself, and for talking to herself. The laugh felt light. She drove toward the city lights. The road stretched ahead like a promise. The past was not erased. but it no longer owned the map. Truth sat beside her in the passenger seat like an old friend. Love was a horizon she could move toward without fear. And somewhere in the night, in a small room with a blue wall and a kettle always warming, a door stayed open for whoever needed it next. If this story touched your heart, click like, share, and subscribe for more powerful African dramas. Your support keeps stories like this alive.